Kwaba. Your Excellency, morning.
We just win here.
Na important to say.
You who are them? Yeah, it's ache.
Ache pa. Ahode or hode.
Pa.
I see. Forever young.
Oti and Kancha. Like I say, we just wanted to allow a government to try and do something better for the country. But Yasha 7 years going to 8 years no.
Yeah.
Aye hukakra. Nti the way can say they say we be sorry. Na yetu anamo ebeboa ama Ghana akonenim. This year we are retrogressing.
Very well. Now party the what to say, NDC what to say. Flag bearer what to say.
Flag bearer no here. I'm so born to Agakra.
Yeah.
But see I do Agakra for some few days. Obasa by next week or so. Nti Oba Twaso or Greater Accra.
Okay.
And to Abono.
The building Ghana tour.
The building Ghana tour. Or Jinko for Adrian. In the might between their kind of manifesto. Na NDC in Ghana near Phantom Pefra. And no anamono o to Sisiano.
Okay.
Now the campaign proper will start later on. For now, the Jinko for Adrian in for different groups in Sisia. Na yetie de omoso ka ebehia omano afa ntoma pefra no na yeda kwadwinri mu na yahwe how you be fashion and how we will implement to achieve outcome
Isn't it too late a bit? Having such an interaction with the people.
No, it's not late. It's not late. I mean, we've all been in the country. I shared the Akoso under the current administration. And he will say, Nema here Ghana for Titu, Nema Eko Bonia Ghana for Etiti Ghana for, Eba Man for Omasitima Basa, and the Deke County. Ninia, we already started writing the manifesto a long time ago. I mean, policy group Nadenia, we're all part of it. And we've done a lot of work. But then, whilst we are thinking of what we have heard and what we think we can do to improve the livelihood of Ghanaians, and say a call so you be someone, you be an baby or engine. But most of the time, no baby, the Umba we've already picked it up in our manifesto. And bounce a few things off them, so we can get it right.
I asked that specific question because in 2016, Mo undertake a similar exercise. And then at the end of it, more what you call the People's Manifesto, by representing the true views of the people and what Ghanaians entirely expected. Say, but I mean, along the line, people were complaining. Say, manifesto no by a little bit too late. And in some way, munya time. Explaining my Ghanaians, that luxury of time, no end to me, for that stretch of explanation and Ghana for here.
And no say if you have good ideas and good policies, let's say like we say, at that time, opponents, or opposition parties, I mean, they had gone out to town to tell stories and lies about our government, about John Mahama. They damaged him, and a lot of the things they told the people, most of them were not true, but they had to throw dirt on him, so they can get the opportunity to come and rule. We've seen how you have ruled this country. And Ghana for including MPP for. Say obita MPP make a throw point blank say on person ko opposition into na outer MPP but on say na ban into na mompa. On say ban o tia de so no. Na na kufa da ban any Baumia for 7 years. I don't know how they can even allow somebody who's been part of a government. It has failed so abysmally. Now, Obama standing for president, just because they don't want to go into opposition. Now, opposition, you're not dead. You're a citizen of this country. You have a share of the national cake.
Exactly.
And to me, because Jobahama Baswa, you make try MPP for Niego. We don't work like that. You are a Ghanaian, first of all. And Anamombe Obetuno, or maybe so we MPP and then a Tranchanya Mobi. National cake belongs to all of us. Now we want somebody to manage our affairs and the national cake properly. Now obeying and the chefa opportunities the bar. Young could be so we MPP now we NDC ni. I Ghana nimba. Also benya o chefa. Obia sa won kwadwin boni ewo ekroma ha ubenya o chefa. Who kwadwin boni there you face the consequences. And today I can say 2016 asem wo kan those people's manifesto no came.
Yeah.
A lot of it some of the manifestos
policies push.
Yeah,
a policy like this, Magana for
okay, I'm not going to argue about say at that time. At that time, no, they had done so much damage to the person putting that message out, you know, to the sense that people started looking at you as the devil incarnate. And to just say, yeah, because Obi a destroy where we Obi say on the Oba Monso Menche, I will come and transform Ghana. I will make Ghana heaven on earth. What have we seen in 7.5 years? Going on to 8 years. And the Amipa Chen say since 2016 and 2020, 24-hour policy na no. It was in the 2020, but you see, the emphasis was not put there. There are several policies. And then a policy group can be for governance. And we've looked at all those things. We've been working for the last 2-3 years, these groups, and thinking through for Ghanaians, thinking of how we can make this country a better place to live. Now we've thought it through, and President Mahama comes to those meetings, and we sit down and we talk and we tell him what we have done. And then he also met me at China and say, no, you're funny say yes, our problem. Yeah, drink Ghana. Oh, China money here to know. So you can say unfair MPP from what this record of the Nakufado Baumiano. It's nothing they should even be proud of. For 8 years, this is what you have done for Ghana. A Kamaboyeni, you took it out of IMF and put us back into IMF. This is it's a Guinness Book of Records. it will go down because they took us out, they celebrated the Kenke party and put us back in there. They didn't celebrate that one. The only celebration is that they've removed the finance minister who presided over all this disaster. But he's going to sit at home and they intend to operate from home to control the government still. That is why I hear a gentleman who has been given an appointment has refused, quitting.
The former deputy minister.
He used to be there.
Yes.
Onim Kenofratan on the year, Jumano. Onim say or accepted position now, the man will be remote controlling him again. Into on G position, no. What say at the end we find out the mama will be say on Majinkra. Me tell say when he wrote gentleman, the former deputy minister.
Yes.
I can't how many months to election. If you know more patchy roads.
Yes.
It's disgraceful. This government has failed badly. You took us out of IMF and celebrated it. Say more miracles and put us. Yes, it's a real miracle. You took us out and put us back in there within the time that you're in government. It's a shameful, a disgrace. Right now, I think in some other jurisdiction, and by this time, Parliament should have passed the vote of no confidence in the government.
On the president.
Well, you see, we don't have that vote of no confidence in our constitution. What we have is impeachment of the president.
Of the president.
Whether impeachment or vote of no confidence, they should have passed it by now. Because Ukaya said MPP, about 90 of their MPs in the House, rooted for the removal of finance minister. Your firm kosha dem obi nim de si wo ho. Me share MPs ni bi. Ebi me madam for MPs no. Your mo ka chem say yen dey kokofo ye kunyo because they've planned say yes idea no. They will unseat us at the primaries. An MP told me this. Into no okoko for nekunya, he doesn't care about who's going to be flag bearer. This is an MPP person. Who say you're dropping so many of them at primaries?
And the delegates the two
No, but say they engineer it. MPP are impending for.
Yeah.
There's a cabal in there. You are watching.
I see.
And to MPP need to catch me. Say me they for mekunya.
But don't you have same in the end?
Luckily, he's maintained his seat. I will mention in fact, trouble Yamaro. Luckily, he has maintained his seat, and I'm happy for him. But the fact is that in some other jurisdictions close to $70 billion. $5 billion. And this is the purpose of the In fact, about 4 or 5 ministers have been raided apparently by some robbers. Found money in their homes. But they say, I'm going to because can't. Then they say, the whole world will know, say they are keeping monies in their homes. There's a problem in our country. We need to save this country. We're on a real mission. Muhammad and you are grown 99% of NDC for Etomano.
Yeah.
What percentage did that Baumia get in his party?
Over close to 64%.
I mean, it tells you we have confidence in the John Mahama because why you be paying? Your baby ma him for me be mentioned say there why you be paying and then no 2 years. I saw any now so a man for Antoine because they wanted to try the Messiah. Nana Adodanka Kufado. I saw a Mon I've come to deliver Ghana. Look at where we are. It's so shameful. I think if our MPs were strong enough, those 80 or 90 MPs, no, they should join forces with the NDC. They should do it for Ghana and not for an MPP or NDC. They should do it for Ghana. They should call for the president's impeachment, or they should call for vote of no confidence in the current administration. For the next 8 months, the worst would happen under this administration. So MPs,
they can say you are professing doom. I mean, we hope for the betterment of this country.
We've hoped for 8 years. We've hoped for people have died and gone. Ebinusica,
Men's gold.
Men's gold. I'm saying that so many wrongs. People have died and gone. What I say? 2020. The Chiman South.
Yeah.
Nipa Yekuono. Have you had any outcome report at Yachi Gophobia? Yeah, prosecute. I haven't heard. So what? Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that so many terrible things are happening in our country. You say I should not. I'm not professing doom. I am saying I wish MPs who are representing the people of Ghana in the interest of our country, not in the interest of a party, should come together. They should join forces to bring the president and his team into order. There's got to be something.
Is John Mahama really the new Messiah, as you put it? Because, I mean, we've seen his type before, his kind. And I mean, Ghanaians will tell you, sir, they've seen the strengths and the weaknesses of John Mahama.
Yes.
No, there were certain challenges are not a persisted, yet went to me and so.
He never said he was perfect. He never said he was the Messiah. Did he? I said we are on a rescue mission. I never said he's the Messiah.
Okay.
The Messiah was Nana Akufo-Addo. Then, say Oba, mon somishe. Because the somishe, I just said maybe I'll be surprised. We may hear wonders. Well, we still have wonders, but the wonders are negative wonders. The Americans say once about 80 or 90 of their MPs petitioned for the removal of the finance minister. Our president Tuninantiaso, I'm ambaso, I'm and then what done was the same person they didn't. 7 going on to 8 years, they will destroy economy in area. What the foreign finance minister so to handle foreign finance. And you cry no. That is why his company is getting commission for transactions that Ghana government undertakes. Now, these are, look, it is not partisan.
Yeah.
Seriously, some of us, why? I could have just retired from politics.
Because you've seen it all.
I mean, they made it there, I will always get to eat. But, to me, medium, I forget about Ghana. We need to help our country. Those of us who go to the grassroots, who go to the lower, the communities, the communities. I've walked through constituencies in the eastern region. I'm a for here, obi who's obi di dokuni mekoyira oni nambo. What? No, this is very serious. Mini obi ko baby, me boys ibi, and then me told a jollof rice and fried rice and chicken. Me die me hunu, and a bakuno odi mo nkwa me say wo na mo he. No, sorry. So adeyamba won na ma na. or see the Beshami bottom. Who they quiet or see me the coffee and be. Now, I felt so sad about it. One piece of chicken in your pocket. This is how low people have sunk. Now, what if IMF, people thought you're going to do miracles. You put us back into IMF with a huge debt.
Interesting. Now, let's come to John Dramani Mahama. When the opportunity is given, a day obey it differently. Now, Ghanaians put a very critical question. What is he coming back for? You've been a minister, you've been a deputy minister, you've been a vice president, you've been a member of parliament, and then substantively you became the president. I mean, in the wisdom of Ghanaians, a large portion believes that there were person what the Amagan for what is new?
When we because we believed what he was doing was the right thing for Ghana. So if 99%, the last time in 2020, 95%.
Yes.
And 2024, 99%. We have belief in him that he, as our leader, can take this country to where we want to be. Seriously, there's no joke. Nobody's perfect. No human being is perfect on earth. Perfect.
We believe that John Mahama can do it.
I believe he will do a lot better than the current administration. A lot better. And he will show that he cares for this. And some of us are with him. We will be in this government and we will show to Ghanaians that we meant well for Ghana. None kind of gimmicks are play, no.
Your Excellency, knowing all the challenges, you just mentioned over close to 600 billion Ghana cedis in debt. Your debt to GDP, is over 100%. I mean, as at then, hovering around 50%, but don't cry on your criticize here. Now, the question is that, wouldn't challenges when you have bondholders or more payments, your reschedule. Now we are negotiating with bilateral your friends and creditors. One more boy your bossy yentimintuya. Entino your person or more reschedule your debt any the account. You have the IPPs, one more independent power producers on yearly basis. You need to be paying them their monies. Now you are telling us the reality on the ground. Say challenges, almost say economy. In your specific terms, what can 4 years really do? Are we on a rescue mission? So within these 4 years, challenges here, John Mahama bet me I resolve it.
No, that's not what we're saying. He's going to halt the decline. We are on a slippery slope now.
Okay.
He has to bring us to a stop the fall, the free fall of our nation's economy. Now that is the principal thing he's going to do. He says, I'm not going to take on new projects. Now that is very informative, very, very important. Because taking on new projects means we're not going to borrow new money. We're going to use our revenues or our resources to finish viable projects that we started in our time and even under the current administration, Nana Akufo-Addo's time. Viable government projects. The operative word is viable. If it is not viable, like the cathedral, we'll throw it away. We'll use it for something else.
National Cathedral.
We'll use it for something else.
All the Sikaya pump.
We'll use it for something else. Maybe somebody will put money into it and buy it off government and give revenue to government and do whatever he wants to do there. The point is that a viable project that will bring better livelihood to Ghanaians has to be pursued.
Okay.
Right? We can't just leave it to rot. Like we built apartments and
affordable housing,
and then you leave it hanging because it was not your government who started it, and all that. We cannot continue as a people to run the country that way. Say way back, no, our abandon will be projects. No, I started another one. All viable projects will be looked at. And we'll probably finish one starting road, and that's a good project. We'll continue. I mean, if you go and start a road in the wrong place, for instance, we can suspend that one and finish those who are critical for the Ghana's operation, for the development of our country. It's going to be sensible approach to doing things. There are people there who are not partisan in this country. They don't belong to a party, but they have the know-how. They are competent. They have knowledge. They have experience. We will engage some of them. We will engage experts in areas to do and help. We must all hands on deck approach. Ghana first. That is what we have to do.
It looks as if this time around, you are sounding more, the NDC seem to be sounding more nationalistic rather than say more partisan. For instance, John Dramani Mahama, the former president, is saying, say, on promise. Ghanaians, some of them, I mean, some of the trade unions and then the teacher unions are not too much happy. They want to hold you by your words. Say, this is the promise you gave us. But you telling us, one, I mean, one share teacher for as we speak. Oba, you may not want to start new projects, but the already existing ones are viable. No, you may want to complete it. Ghanaians are telling you that no, this is not the kind of things we want to hear. I mean, what do you want to bring on board? The teachers are questioning you. That's one here salary increment. John Mahama is asking for a honeymoon when he comes, especially in the first year. They said no. I mean, looking at the circumstance, standard of living, any sika yenyan, it wouldn't help us. What would the president do should he assume office today?
What is important is for you to know the truth about our finances. And this government will not give you even that information.
Okay.
But from what we know the debt. You know, like you said, the debt to GDP, we know the debt that we've contracted. That one we know. So we don't want to add to it. We don't want to keep adding debt.
Okay.
So what we're saying is that when we come into office, the first year, at least the first year, no new contracts.
Okay.
And we will continue. And you don't promise and fail. Like this government did. You don't promise and fail. So if he's telling the teachers, you are asking for salary increases, and I don't know what money I have in my bank, how can I promise you anything? Do you get my point?
So that is realistic.
No. So you don't promise. No, you don't promise it, because if you're not able to deliver, that becomes an issue for you. So you know what is in there, the kitty. Then I'll tell you only 1%, 2%, or 3% based on the figures I have.
Okay.
I can make that promise if I know it. But if I don't know it, we don't go and talk about it. You know, it's just like Daniel Akufo-Addo went to Hard Talk in England talking about free SHS, if you remember that particular video. Yes. And he was asked how much it was going to cost. He didn't know. He had no idea. They asked him how many students. I mean, because you need to prepare yourself. If you don't know, don't make a promise that I'll give you free education, or Mr. Host, I'll buy you a car. And I don't even know how much money I have in my bank account.
Okay.
So we need to be careful. We don't need to raise people's hopes to the level where you can't deliver. That's why you look really bad in the eyes of people.
Mahama is being truthful.
Very truthful. He's not working alone. John Mahama is talking to people, experts, advisors, warning you, don't say some of these things. Because if you say it, you've committed us. And if we can't deliver on that promise, that particular one, there are other promises we can make.
But the views of those experts, against the expectation of the larger populace. Now, if you need, for instance, the teacher unions, you need to promise them in order to sustain their vote. And now, catch almost say, won't make it promises, because on hindsight, wouldn't figures, knowing how the whole finances is looking at her. I mean, a quite now vote, in order for you to become the president.
So you should become the president through lies? You speak truth to power. You don't lie to people.
You can make realistic promises.
But based on something. If I don't know the figures, I won't promise you. What you are saying is that the damage to the economy, as we all see now, it looks so dangerous. I mean, 600 billion cedis in debt. We need to pay.
Yeah.
It's not money that is for free. And then, the debt to GDP, baby,
yeah.
You look at all these things, you need to control some of these macroeconomic indicators. You need to control them. Now, when I have the power, I won't contract no new debts, no new loans. We will try to use whatever revenue that is available to government to complete viable projects. And the projects could be anything, including something for the teachers.
Okay.
But we're not going to say that now until we are on top of the figures. But seriously speaking, the World Bank is now controlling our economy. The IMF are controlling our economy as we speak. I've seen that they said that they're going to give they are releasing 150 million to contractors for road maintenance. Contractors have been starved of their own money for so long. I've met a few of them, friends. They said that they want us to agree to discount what is owed us.
Okay.
And some of them, I'm not ready to do that. So if you want money, let's say if you 100 million that you are supposed to be paid,
you need to discount about 50%.
Well, discount it, and then there's you discount it. Fidelity Bank, they were saying, well, they weren't doing that particular deal.
Okay.
Discount it so you can have some of your money. Come on, I spent money. It's not all profit. If you say discount your profit, maybe I will let the profit go. At least let me pay back my cost. So many people are holding. What is it, warrants or whatever it is for their
But there's what we call time value for money. And see, the longer you wait, the higher the level of depreciation in terms of even the quantum of money.
And I don't think government gives interest. Government doesn't pay you interest.
Exactly.
So your money is with government. It's safe because one day they will pay you, but they will pay you just your money. And you will have lost value.
Exactly.
So these are some of the things that we are all going through at the moment. But seriously speaking, Ghana first. Anybody who says Ghana first is my friend. Anybody who says Ghana first, because it has to be Ghana first. There are people who don't have the opportunities that some of us have right now. Yeah, can say. They don't know how much to pay. They don't know where the next meal is coming from. You have to have sympathy for this person. He's a Ghanaian. He has a fair share. He has to get a fair share of the national cake. And then politics. I don't want the situation that one day people will rise up against the political class. Unfortunately, some of us don't have that bad intention but you can become a victim because you are into the politics. Then you are coming here for painters with the same brush that you people have made us suffer and all that. We don't want to get there. We're not there yet, but we shouldn't get there. So we need committed, patriotic, selfless people to help this country. Seriously, commitment is critical. The people just talk sometimes, but they're not committed enough. They're not committed enough.
To deliver what they say.
Yeah, to deliver what they say. And the things that are buoyant from like corruption and all those things. It looks as if it's something that I'm not talking about. It exists in our society.
How would the NDC and John Mahama deal with it? The corruption.
First of all, you don't appoint,
because Ghanaians are waiting to hear your Mobeka in your fight against corruption.
Seriously speaking, you don't appoint an OSP, and then try to manipulate the OSP like this government has done. This is the second time in this term they've appointed an OSP. They just put it on paper to impress the West or the international community that we have an office of special prosecutor who will deal with this corruption matter. First we talked about announced principle that has fallen through the window. Then you appoint the first OSP, and then you try to influence what he does. When he wants to investigate against you, you try to influence him. He kicks against you, so you put him in a difficult situation, and he quits. You bring another one, and you went there to influence him again. What sort of, are you playing games with Ghana? Somebody will be one video be an American. Or see, Ghana for the would diagro. Ghana for you would diagro. You can't play us around like that. Now he's like, I'm done my bit. By the end of the year, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And but it shouldn't be so. We should love our country more than ourselves. And that's what is happening. Media says, so long as some of us are going to be in this, our government coming, we will ensure and we will appeal and we will plead and nudge our leaders to do what is right. Because I will call out anybody who seems to be going the wrong way, either in corruption or anything. And I will call out the person. As a citizen of this country, I will call out the person. It doesn't matter what he thinks about me subsequently. When I was in Eastern region, certain things people were trying to say, assume this is a galamsey thing.
Yeah.
And I said, the law is there. If you go and mine, you need to reclaim the land. If you don't do it, don't come to me and ask me to do a special favor. Go and reclaim the land. I got BNI to seize equipment. Reclaim the land. When you have done it, we'll give your equipment back to you. I don't care how much money it's going to cost you while the equipment are not working. You need to do what the law says. You need to think of our country first.
Interesting. And see, I'm speaking with Ambassador Victor Smith, former High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, speaking to us on issues. It has to do with the National Democratic Congress. And then the passion, what they casado paid. I'm very much aware, sir. What was she pay with you are highly inspired. Pacho meneno na edi enkomo anope 0550596929055056792 test line sa yede juma anope dial star 256 star 2 hash star 256 star 2 hash na was selected option 2 on the Kessben cashboard na ya draw no the kai ana ye ede amount anope no. Now lot of messages and but we are coming soon to the 24-hour economy. One more accord round CD, I presume, sir, His Excellency and the former president, together with the NDC entourage, one more explaining it better to Ghanaians. But he'll help us understand some of the things the 24-hour economy represent. Now, Ishak Eddie Abba or say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Let Ambassador Victor Smith understand that Mahama has nothing to do for us. He's one-term president, and finality will be brought come December 7th. Thank you for a message. Ebenezer Deborah says that, good morning, Mr. Speaker. It's a great show. Ghanaians are watching the two major political parties to see who will carry the mandate and will solve the problems we face today. Thank you for a message. Joseph Tano is sending me this one. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Please tell Mr. Smith that we were in this country when Mahama was president. So if Victor Smith wishes bad to happen to this country and you are trying to come back to power again, then we'll live to see how things will turn out. I'm not sure so we should this country. On that note, I will personally create you. Joseph Tano. Very well. Mamen Kai Ken Abel, I say this man, the former ambassador, talks as if Mahama has not been president before. In spite of COVID-19, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has done well with Ghanaians. Only people with what they say a short memory can really remember what Akufo-Addo is doing. He's doing more than he thought he could do for this country. Thank you for a message, Joseph Tando, Maakye would that let me do a bit one. Okay. Maakye Ibrahim Gariba Ede Abba. He sends this one from Oyoko in Kofredia. I say Dr. Bawumia is the best person to lead this country. It's possible, inshallah. This one also said that Ibad says that Victor Smith has said it all this morning. We need passionate and compatriots who are very patriotic in developing our country. We just don't need lip service politicians any longer. I can feel his passion this morning. Thank you for a message, Kofi Cruz sends this one in. I say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. The NDC is bent on not promising Ghanaians, which is good. It is good to manage the expectations of Ghanaians than to be singing slogans where very much aware that you cannot be able to fulfill those promises when the mandate is given. Thank you. Boama Romeo sends this one or say, the NDC is just giving us empty talks, sir. That is what you sent in. Thank you for a message, with the Abba. Let me do a little bit of SMS, with the Abba and pay. This one says that, good morning, Mr. Host. I decided not to vote this year, but I have changed my mind. I will go and vote against the NDC because of this man. When Ghanaians were suffering from Dumso, this man was living in the UK as High Commissioner. He never experienced what we experienced. John Mahama was telling us to go and then live in Togo if we think the kitchen was too hot for us back then. Today, what do we say? Thank you for a message. This one says that I think Bawumia will be a fine president. Collins sent in that one from Asante Bekwai. Collins, thank you for a message. This one says that why should we in the Ashanti vote for Mahama, who introduced capitation, who failed to pay teachers, who taught for 3 years and gave teachers no considerations. Bosiakon, you sent in that one from Pankrono in Kumasi. Thank you for a message. Let me do this one as well. Now, Memra Ambassador. So, messages, at those. Okay. This one says that good morning, Mr. Speaker. I always watch your show because you speak truth to power, and I like how you are asking Mr. Victor Smith the questions. Bafwe were sensing that one from Goso in the Ahafo region. Bafwe were good morning. Moamutie na Moshe Ewo Goso, and God bless you. Ambassador, 24-hour economy. What is the basic rationale behind that policy?
Before, because of some of the messages I was listening to.
Okay, you want to respond to that?
No, I don't know the specific one. No, but what is very important, yes. I mean, Mr. Mikacho said, everybody, every Ghanaian has a share of the national cake. Must have a share of the national cake. It doesn't matter which party you belong to. Seriously. It doesn't matter which party you belong to. And it shouldn't be like a winner takes all type of government. And Ghana first.
Is that why you want to amend the
constitution? Ghana first. Who wants to amend the constitution? Me.
Yes, the President Mahama is promising.
So we review.
There
was a review done under Professor Mills, and I think it was shelved. But he wanted to see, Ghanaians, if you like, did a referendum and voted for that constitution in its current form. But maybe if leaders looking at the constitution think that we have to amend some aspects of it, they need to put it back to the Ghanaian public.
Yes, I'm asking because of the winner takes all you just mentioned. Because in the absence of a major review and changes in our constitution, I mean, President all the mandate to make all the appointments. He decides who serves in the government. But typically, the political party and its supporters will not even allow the president.
No, but they don't make those decisions. We're not suggesting that go and take Nana Akufo-Addo to become a part of, or go and bring Bawumia to be vice president to John Mahama. We're not saying that. That is at that level, we will know.
Yes, but that can happen as well.
There are other Ghanaians who are non-partisan.
Okay.
And they're also Ghanaians. And they may have the expertise and the competence. So we can push some people into certain places, irrespective of what they think. Okay. But because they can help deliver this country. What I'm trying to say to those who are rooting for Bawumia, they should ask themselves. Now he's trying to distance himself from the mess. When he did his thing at UPS, he was literally trying to distance himself from what has happened to our country. And I think President Akufo-Addo, he has to have a second look at that vice president of his.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you sat with me.
Doubting the loyalty of vice president.
It's not loyalty. I didn't say it. Now he wants to jump ship and say that maybe I would have done it differently. For 7 to 8 years, you were vice president of this country to the same president in the same cabinet. You sit with them on policy and everything. We are Bema power. You should be able to tell. And me, I hold myself that I can tell somebody in the face what I think. It doesn't matter whether you're appointed, you can sack me. But if it's going wrong for Ghana, I will speak my mind.
Okay.
Now, he wasn't man enough.
Vice president wasn't man.
He wasn't man enough. The economy, where you finance minister, it took you this long. About 90 of your MPs petitioned you to remove him. Even though it was late, it was better late than never. They asked for the man to be removed. You managed to arm twist them into reversing on that plea. And now you have removed him. That speaks volumes about the man you are trying to root for. If you can stay as vice president, you become like the principal advisor to the president, more or less. You are his assistant or deputy. Like I keep saying, others have not enjoyed good life and they have died and gone in the last 7 years. And you say you want to come and become our president, you are not a man enough to have called that president to order.
Yes, Excellency, but you and I agree, sir. You've been in government until you know how some of these things work. I mean, it will be a stab in the back. Say, vice president of a republic, a sitting government, will come and tell you, say, yes, my boss, A, but I disagree with him and I'm saying B.
I'm not asking to go public yet. If you are my president, now, Mr. Speaker, you are my president, and I'm your deputy, the two of us can have a tete-a-tete in your bedroom.
Exactly.
Say, Master, the finance minister, I haven't gone public. I haven't disgraced you.
Okay.
It's an advice to take action. Or if he asks you, so what do I do? I said, and put this person. Let's explain to him why we have removed him. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't ask him to go and stand on the rooftop and shout, say, my president is bogus. It is when he consistently and persistently decide to ignore your advice, then you advise yourself that either I'm willing to leave.
That would be a defiance.
No, if I'm willing to leave the job.
Now you say it.
Now you speak your mind
and then you leave.
And then you leave. I'm not going to be part of your government because the guy with the Ghana phone, I'm not true. You're not helping the people of Ghana. You're not being good to the people of Ghana. People sit down there because they are partisan. They are those people who called and they are saying that what? Ask him why 7 years he didn't help this country. Come on. They should stop this extreme partisanship. They should start thinking of themselves and their brothers and sisters. They should stop this. I'm telling everybody, I'm telling NDC people. When I was appointed ambassador first in the Czech Republic, when I was going, I remember some people telling me, it's like create an opportunity for
us to come.
To come and take office. In other words, Obia MPP ni bia na we you say MPP no Ghana ni. Maybe some of the people are telling me that if he doesn't undermine my authority in the place, we will work nicely. When I was going to UK, the same thing happened.
Okay.
People want an opportunity to also enter. To go.
They were asking you, say, those that you meet, sack them.
No, they will tell you that, they will tell you the link and everything. Yeah. And I go there and I'm saying to them, I don't work like that. So long as that person is not undermining my authority. So one person will body partisan politics. You may be a public servant or civil servant and you are partisan. So you try to undermine anything that I'm doing as the boss there, then I will call you to order.
Okay.
Then I'll take the necessary steps. I will report you and get you removed. But nothing like this happened. Nothing like this happened.
They were very professional.
People, so long as I was going, because you didn't show me any colors.
Yeah.
And you didn't try to undermine me. It's as simple as that. So my position to an advice to the other Ghanaians who think that it is only a battle between NDC and MPP. And if an NDC person is speaking on radio, you must say that no matter what you say, it's because it's MPP. When people say they will vote for Baumia in Ashanti, it's because it's MPP. I'm saying to them, Ghana first. And to you were in government. If you listen to some of the comments during their primaries, from his opponents. Some of them indicted the government in power, of which he was part. Somehow, they whipped delegates into voting for him. But his opponents indicted the government that you are part of this government. Nonsense. It is true. It was so true.
Okay.
They employ 3 shifts. That presumably we will produce 3 times or even more because they are working 3 shifts. So that should bring you more money, doesn't it? It stands to reason. You cannot be working for nothing. You must be producing more. So then you get a better revenue. So you can finance that particular project. It's the government who's going to finance those ones. Of course, this construction, if you give construction contracts to people to do roads or building or whatever, and we say they should run the shift, sign on to run the shift, you engage more people. We don't expect that the same people will be used to work 24 hours. It will not happen. No human being works beyond a certain number of hours is ineffective, or and health-wise and all the other things. So you run your shift, and another group comes in. You are producing more. You are getting more revenue. We get more tax. And so if you're going to give them certain things like tax incentives and other motivations to sign on, we are saying that more people will be engaged in employment.
Very well. But before I will contact the private sector to sign on to such a policy, now, what is the deliberate commitment your government, in the future, the steps are moving taking in formalizing the public sector. I mean, there are so many sectors government can consider engaging with some of these things.
You said public sector.
Yes.
But the public sector is government paid.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's the one you're talking about.
Yes.
But if a lot of private sector people are going to sign on to engage more people, I'm sure our wage bill, the public sector wage bill, will drop. Exactly. Because a lot of people will move out to the private sector who pay better than government. So when they all move there, let's assume quite a number move into the private sector because they've signed on and to run the 24-hour shift. We will have less to pay on the government wage bill. And the private sector is like shifting some of the responsibility to them. But we're going to give them incentives for them to do that. If you're not going to pay tax, for instance, give them moratoriums or tax relief, exemptions and everything, and give them security and let them pay less electricity bill like John was explaining. We can run all those things. These are there are strategies to get more people employed, encourage the private sector to do that bit, and then provide them with security and all these incentive reliefs and everything. These are policies that are being practiced in some other countries. Some of the best practices people have to look at. I know they're being considered in Sydney, in Australia, and I think the UK are also trying to do something like that. Why not?
I see. But is there really a blueprint for this particular policy?
Well, it was part of our manifesto. That is why we're saying that it is not going to be like compulsory. We're not insisting on compulsory. Maybe one day in the future. But for now, it is something to encourage the private sector to assist, to relieve government of some of the burden of unemployment and what have you, to prevent people from bailing out of this country.
Or this just be like NAPCO, for some time.
No, this is not government.
Sustainability becomes a problem.
This is not government. This is government who took on the NAPCO thing and messed up. This government that we're talking about now, they took on the NAPCO thing and they messed up. It is all talk. 24 hour, it's not government who's going to do it. They say if you sign on, we will do these things for you. We will give you the tax relief. What do you lose in giving tax relief? If the person doesn't work, you don't get the taxes anyway. I have lived in a developed country before. I was a student in Wales. Wales used to be a coal mining city, a port city. South Wales, to be precise. Cardiff. And the only way the UK felt that they should help that particular part of the country to develop was to remove taxes and encourage investors to go there. They give you land, they don't take tax for 10 years. You set up, employ people. All the Japanese companies were going there, the car manufacturing companies, they set up there because you won't pay tax. So you're getting all your money. And then they gave people jobs. Go and see how that place has developed.
Very well. Very well. Your Excellency, a good friend of mine sends this one in, and he says I should read it to your hearing. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Kindly inform Ambassador in Residence, Victor Smith, that free SHS has awakened the consciousness of Ghanaians. Now, majority of us can read and write. His desperation to come back to serve in government is a thing of the past. Dr. Bawumia represents the future of our country, whereas the NDC and ex-President Mahama enjoying his pension, John Dramani Mahama represent the past. 7th December, they will vote for Bawumia.
Extreme partisan.
This is extreme partisanship.
Extreme partisanship. Tell them to think. Think about Ghana. Stop this MPP, NDC thing. They should think about Ghana. Come on. Bawumia was there for 7 years. If he were here, I would tell him to the face. You couldn't tell that he was going to, to the cabinet driver court ditch. Come on, if you have crashed us, so many people have died in the interim. So Nipa could still reach my here, and I've heard you, and I hope you are listening to me as well. This country needs serious minds. It's serious not extreme partisans.
I see. I'm wrapping it up with you. Your final words to the Ghanaian people who are watching the morning. That's
exactly what I'm trying to say. They should stop being extreme partisans. What I'm trying to say is that Ghana, at this stage, party B, I'm this colors. They should stop. I'm NDC, but I don't go bragging about it. If I see a Ghanaian who is in difficulty, I don't care which party he belongs to. I won't even ask you. I'll try to help that Ghanaian. Now, I'm saying that it's not because you want Mama to come, that's why you're talking like that. We asked Mama to come. Maybe he wouldn't have come. But the people wanted to give him 99% NDC that come back and save this country. The guy who sends messages and others, they should listen. You all
Yeah.
I will. I'm available.